I thought it was really funny.
All right, so the stream should be live.
Yeah. Oh, dang. And the bot already put it in the chat. Let's go. I'm currently drinking apple cider.
Apple cider is like one of my favorite drinks of choice, so I can respect that. All right,
It's like good, like thick apple juice, but you
it's
can only
it's
have a
just better, thicker apple juice.
yeah.
I can drink apple cider by like the jug. Like I love that stuff.
You
Um,
gotta shake it though. If you don't shake it,
oh yeah,
like
if
I
you
didn't
shake it,
shake
it's like kind of like weird, like watery on top, and then like the bottom is like goop.
it. Ew, no, no.
All
Yeah, I
right,
have that.
all right, folks. All right, folks. Ooh, we got who is Dashing Septile? Is that a person in our league, or is that a nice viewer?
Why do I think that's like Smigler? Do you remember Smigler from
I remember, I
CSO?
remember San Antonio Septiles. Yeah, I remember that, dude. All right, so let's get started. We already got a lot of this done. I think we're probably around halfway
Mhm.
ish. Okay,
Like
so
third,
we'll
maybe.
start with Incineroar. Incineroar is a really popular mon. I think people really like it. Um,
I
Dashing
think
Septiles in
Seagull.
the league. What is their actual? What is your actual username? What do I? We don't have anyone named Dashing Septile in the Discord. Oh, he's applying for next season. Oh, let's go, dude.
Oh,
Let's our man's.
gotcha.
All right, that's dope. Sick. All right,
What's
Incineroar
up,
seems like
bro?
a solid, just 9 points. Seems like a really kind of honestly a decent place to keep it. People always
Yeah.
draft it because it's like a pivoting, bulky fire type. So people always like that stuff.
Should we move in? I mean, so my thing with Ndidi, right, is he was drafted last season, but is it worth 10 points? Is the thing.
I think it probably is. It's pretty good.
With expanding force, it's like a pretty it's decent speed. It's never really going to be overbearing for your opponent, but like it definitely can like clean house if it's like a
Yeah, I
scarf
think
set
we
with
leave it at 10. I'm okay with that. It got drafted, so I don't see a reason to. Infernape 14 probably just has to stay there because someone always drafts that thing.
Here's the thing though, like I feel like Infernape has always been so underwhelming, like in every draft.
Honestly,
It
every
kind of
time I've
like
ever drafted, I've been like, this is kind of underwhelming. I don't know why everyone loves this mon so much, but everyone always drafts it, so I'm gonna leave it there.
I think it like do we I kind of want to move it down to 13 because I always feel like the teams that pick like Infernape are always like crippled by it. Like I feel like just because of how many points it is, it's just like it just makes their team like that much worse. And I feel like they're
Well,
just
I mean, but if people are drafting it, like I feel like it's I don't know. Inteleon, 8 points. Feels good. Maybe down if anything.
yeah,
I think
it
eight's
got drafted but then
probably
dropped.
reasonable.
It's like who's drafting a water type at in C tier
Well,
that's like
it's
offensive and frail, like
well, people draft Greninja, and that's obviously the super obvious comparison is Greninja,
but it's better.
but it's I mean
It
Greninja
has spikes.
Greninja has spikes and other stuff. Anyways, but it's Greninja's more expensive to boot. I don't know. I think Inteleon's actually decent. The only problem is like there's a lot of good water types that are especially you can draft a lot of good bulky water types around like low B C tier. So it always feels weird drafting an offensive water type at that point.
Yeah.
But Ivysaur the goat. We'll Yas down here.
Jellison 7. I mean, it
7.
doesn't really get drafted, but it could move down. But no, actually, no, it got
It gets
drafted last
drafted. It
season.
gets drafted. It's like a just a good like bulky water that you go to if you don't have a good water. I think that's pretty good spot for it.
Yeah,
Dashing Septile,
Jirachi.
welcome, dude. I'm excited to see your application. All right, Jirachi 14 feels like a no brainer.
Jolteon 3. It's good. I think it's
You're
good
now
at
you're into the fast electrics now, so
I listen, like Jolteon, I think it's a solid 3 point mon. I think it's something that I still think is bad, and I think people don't they underestimate it and can be like put in some work, but it's never like it's like a what's another 3 point mon? Like I guess a girder would be a good example. Like it's a mon that if it comes, you're like, oh shoot, that might actually be kind of good this game. It's not like gonna be like destroying your team. Like even a bulk up girder is like it might get a kill, maybe two, but it's not like Jolteon's always been a cleaner. It doesn't really have that good of coverage, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty.
yeah. I think that's fair.
we'll just throw Jinx in 2 because it's too good for 1, but it's not great. I think it got something, didn't it? Nasty plot, but it's Jinx.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Jinx 2 is fine. Kabutops 4 is fine.
Kabutops actually did get flip turn, so we could maybe bump that up to 5.
I don't think that's worth it because it's not a good pivot unless it's on a rain team, and then you're wasting turns you could be just attacking with your Kabutops, clicking flip turn. I don't think flip turn does a lot for it. Like for Pokemon that needed rain to function, I don't think flip turn is gonna be a big boost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get, but Kabutops did kind of struggle with bulky waters a little bit, just because I mean, like Kabutops was never like a top tier rain sweeper by any means, but you know, it was a mon that was kind of like if you want a budget rain mon, that's like, oh, you know, I don't really have like maybe I have Kingdra, but you know, I'm kind of struggling for points here, so maybe it's like,
Kadabra's a mon that we have at 2. I think it probably should be 1, but it's a really good 1-pointer, honestly.
What is
Kadabra?
Kadabra? Yeah, I mean, no one really picks it, but
no
yeah, it's a solid.
It probably should go to 1 because nobody picks it, but like it'll be like probably one of the better 1-pointers that you can get. I would say, like it's one of the only like usable speed tier, like actual offensive presence. It's like genuinely just a baby Zam, and I think you won't be disappointed if someone picks it up at 1 point.
Should we move Kangaskhan down to 2?
I think it's probably. I think that's reasonable.
Ooh, Mega Kangaskhan though, kind of bad. But do we
I'm thinking
move it
like
down to 12?
Where was it last season? 13.
It might...
12 is not on. It's somewhere between there. This is why I really wanted a third person to kind of like. At least one more person. People in chat, what do you guys think of Mega Kangaskhan? We'll leave it there for now. It's either 12 or 13. I think it's somewhere around there.
I think Kartana, we can both agree 13 is a very solid place for it.
It could be a 14-pointer.
It was 13 last season.
Okay,
so.
Wait, yeah, then 13. Yeah, then let's leave it there.
Like it didn't really get anything.
Kecleon is at 3. I'm okay moving it down to 2 maybe.
No, I think Kecleon's a really underrated
people in
mon
CSL have like a weird lens about Kecleon just from like this like
because it's so good. So good.
They're saying so Ghost Cat says Mega Kanga is probably a 13-pointer, but not many people draft it. It's fine. I think it's not really seeing any use. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. It takes up a mega slot, and like, would you rather have like a Mega Chomp who can sweep Mega Zardax? Like, there's some good competition.
Yeah, people are saying 12. Let's go 12. I'm okay with 12 and make it seem like a little bit more of a value pick. I'm okay with that.
Keldeo, it doesn't really get drafted that often because it kind of has a lot of competition. But
it got flip turn, for what it's worth. I think 13 is fine for it.
Mm-hmm. Kingdra, I didn't really get drafted, and you know, if I feel like rain teams could be super busted this generation if like someone actually drafts that, but we'll see.
Kingdra at 8 is probably fine. Kingler 1 is Kingler.
Yeah,
you want to put those in? All right, dope. Klefki 10. Klefki's always a weird one to tier. It's such a polarizing mon, but I think 10 is probably about right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like it's good some games, other games it's kind of bad, but you know, it always kind of does what it's meant to do.
Kling Klang at 3, honestly maybe 2 instead.
I really like Kling Klang, but as a pure steal and draft, it's kind of poop. So
pure steal that doesn't set rocks and isn't really versatile at all.
Komala at 3 I think is fine.
I think Komala should go down to 2, honestly.
Yeah, it could. Our 3s are going to be kind of bare bones, but, you know, a lot of good 2s. So.
There's going to be a lot more 3s coming. Like, the low tiers, as you can kind of see the trend developing, low tiers get more Pokemon just overall. I don't know why there's no 7-pointers for some reason right now. Komodo 13 seems right to me.
Yeah, they were kind of dry last season, though.
Crocodile 11, honestly, is probably fine. People love Crocodile, so I think 11's good home for it.
Kyurem, I think, is good at 13. Might maybe be 12, but it does.
It's somewhere in that range, but I think 13 is probably better.
With how much you can do, it's kind of like, why would we move it? I'm gonna just
regular Landorus is definitely a 15-pointer. Landorus is also a 15-pointer.
I think Lantern is a good 3-pointer. It doesn't really get drafted, but like as a good
Lapras at 3 is maybe a 2.
Yeah, no one really drafts Lapras. It probably should be 1, but you know, it does get like freeze dry or some shit.
Crook is awesome. Crook is a pretty awesome
Ooh.
Pokemon, guys. People, I'm just catching up with chat sometimes. Regular
Yeah.
Latias, I feel like Latias maybe could go to 13.
I
It's somewhere
agree.
between
I
14 and 13. It's tough.
Mhm. I mean, let's look at the Mons in 13 right now. Buzzwole. It's like Latias is just kind of underwhelming.
It's
Like
always
it can't
underwhelming.
really.
It's always every time I've ever seen it, it's just really underwhelming.
Right. I think 13.
Lando Eye does have sheer force to answer that question. Scarf Moxie is just so good. What Pokemon are they talking about? Oh, Crocodile still. What do you guys think about Latias? It's going to be a 13-14 point decision. Latios is
probably 14, just because it was not.
I
that
think
good.
15 is honestly probably fine for it.
Really?
I mean, we're going to have some 15-point Mons, and it's always been a Mon that gets drafted at 15.
I mean, Latios Mega is a.
But Latios and Latios Mega are like Latios Mega is definitely better, I guess.
But does waste a Mega slot, so.
It's tough. That's a good question.
Leafeon. I really want to make that a 1-pointer, but.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead. I don't really care. It's I don't know. Is it good?
I mean,
I'm fine with it being a 1-pointer. I'm okay with that.
Didn't he, actually, you know what? It did get drafted last season, I'm pretty sure. So, like, as a 2-point, like, grass type that can take ground type hits.
Is it ridiculous to have regular Latios and Mega Latios in the same point?
Yeah, but also, like, they both got better, but also with the new Mons and just kind of shift in format, I think it kind of just, like, balances out. So I don't know. I mean, I could see arguments for both. I personally think Latios is probably 14 just because it's not amazing. Because I think people are like,
that's a tough decision. I'm gonna delete regular Latios for now. We're gonna have to think about that one.
it is fast. It's kind of like faster Hydreigon with like less, like worse stabs and some worse coverage.
No pivot.
True. Yeah, it doesn't get U-turn.
The speed is big though. Latias and Latios, we'll leave those up. Those are tough, man. Honestly, Latias, I think 13 is probably better.
Mm-hmm. I think people kind of overestimated getting Mystical Fire and what's the other one?
I mean, it is good. It is good.
Oh, yeah.
I like them a lot, but that's also because I've had Mega Scissor, so I keep having to play those Pokemon now with Mystical Fire, and it's really annoying.
We'll leave it for now, I guess. And then if we come up on our next 15 point, we'll make a choice, which is kind of soon. So we got Ladian.
Licky is probably a solid 3-pointer.
Yeah, everyone drafts it. Lickitung, just put that out of the game. No one drafts that bad. Liepard, I think, is another solid 2-point Mon that I think is a kind of a good budget one that a lot of people kind of overlook.
Honestly, Licky could probably be a 4-pointer.
Yeah, you know what? I do. Yeah, because like who would draft that? Yeah, I think people would draft it at 4 points, and it's probably going to be a solid 4.2 because look at all the other 4-point Mons. It's kind of bad. Lickitung, I'll just deal with that and Lilligant. You already got that. Lilligant's a sad tale. It used to be good. No, it's not. Lanoon could probably move down just because the 1 berries are kind of bad now. So
yeah, sure.
I think 3 is good.
That.
Lanoon Galar, Lanoon Galar, Lombre, and Lopunny can all go to the Shadow Realm. Lopunny. So now we have to make a decision on Latios. So we got Latios. Do we make it 14 or 15?
Well, we're still thinking about it. That's okay. We'll leave it till maybe some more panel members can come and chime in eventually.
Yeah, I guess we can always cut and paste, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. We'll just put Lopunny Mega at 15. Yeah. Solid Mon. God, we got a lot of 1-point Ls.
There's a lot of 1-point Mons, dude. Lucario 9, probably reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't love Lucario, but 9 is probably reasonable for it.
It's sad how it went from like being a very solid B tier Mon to now just like falling to the depths.
Yeah, a lot of Pokemon just, that's power creep for you, dude. It's hard to be on the top forever.
Ludicolo could probably go down. That Mon's not that great.
It's really good in rain, though. I'm okay with 5 for it, honestly. It's got such a good typing.
True. They should make more water grass types. Those are always.
I'm gonna copy and paste this chunk of.
I'll put Luxray in too because even though it's not the best, it's an electric type that's usable.
They also got something this gen, I'm pretty sure.
Close combat, I think.
It's not
Something
bad.
like that.
Lichen
Lycan
Rocks.
Rocket.
So regular Lichen Rock at
Oh,
7, I'm okay with.
could probably go to 6, but I think we're just kind of
Lichen
low
Rock
on
Midnight is
7s.
unusable.
But
Honestly,
people always draft it. So.
if it was a dark type, maybe it would be kind of cool with Sucker Punch, but it's like low key unusable. So
Lycan Rock Dusk, I think, is super cool, super cool. But I don't think we can really reasonably move it up to what's it called, 11 points.
yeah, I think 10 is probably still a good home for it. Machamp at 5, could go down to
4.
4.
Yeah.
I'm okay with 4. I like Machamp a lot actually. It's like really discount Conkeldurr.
It used to be like C tiers. I was like be like, oh my god, he got Machamp like round or
yeah, I like Machamp. I used to love it, dude. It's just discount Conkeldurr. Obviously now Conkeldurr has like the defog support and all that, but
okay. Why is there? I don't know what's going on with the sheet. Wait, why is Macargo? They should not be before.
Something is messed up with the sheet right now. Where did Macargo
I think
go?
because oh, you know what? I think, hold on. I think I accidentally cut instead of copied.
Oh, don't do that. Yeah.
Idiot.
What'd you do, Noah? Oh my goodness. What did Noah do?
Oh, wait, hold on. There we go.
Guys, the boy messed everything up.
No. It's fine. I got it. Fixed it.
You gotta paste values only, and then it works.
Okay, I fixed it.
Try to stop dragging though, please.
I didn't drag. I just cut.
Okay, because every time you like drag stuff over, it messes up the sheet.
Yeah, the only reason it got messed up was because I cut the on the left side from the left instead of copied because I was being dumb.
Okay, so Magmortar 2 is probably fine. It's honestly not a bad Pokemon. Magneton at 4. Yeah, I mean, that's a Pokemon. It has a niche. It's just not a good one.
Magnezone, I think, is better than 7, but you know,
I'm okay with it at 7.
It didn't get. I don't know if it even got drafted last season. I think it's a very solid mod. Oh wait, no, it did by hacker, but.
Magneton, do we put here? Oh no, we did not yet. Okay, Malamar 2 is fine.
I feel like it's just like 70% 2s and 1s, then the other ones are like tier mons that we already know. It's like
Mamoswine at 11. Is it worth moving down? Is a question to 10.
I don't think so. I mean, everyone always drafts it. I mean, it's a very solid offensive mon.
Manaphy to 13. So here we go. Here's a big question for the league. Tailglow has been removed from the game.
Oh, true. Manaphy could go down to the depths. It might be horrible.
It's actually really bad now. Like, its Calm Mind Rain Dance set still exists. Its best set no longer exists. It's now just a tanky water. Not even a bulky water per se, because it doesn't even have recovery. So it's just like a tanky water. So I would probably say in the 8 to 7 point range. I'm trying to think of I'm looking at a couple of different other leagues. A lot of people put it around the it seems like around like Kingdra, other water types, Kingdra kind of like Swampert in that area now. So I'm thinking 7 or 8.
That's crazy. That is so weird because Manaphy used to be like the top king.
In Gen 6, Manaphy was like a top 3 draft pick in every draft league you were in, and now it's like its time in the limelight is so far gone. So that's an interesting one. But I think Manaphy to 7 is what I'm leaning. And
I'm leaning 7 too.
It's like not even a very good one. Like
yeah, like I'd rather a Magnus.
It doesn't have recovery. So like the fact that its like offensive role is like completely basically devastated ruins it because it's a bulky water but doesn't have recovery and its offensive potential.
It's good coverage, right? But like other than that, it's not that offensive.
Like I'm trying to think like what's a bulky water without recovery? Like the one that comes to mind is like Suicune. But Suicune is like really bulky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, that's kind of.
It's like 115 base HP too. Like
maybe it could be an 8 pointer, I guess.
Let me actually look at some of these mons because I don't even have Showdown brought
Yeah,
up.
I'm okay. Let's make Manaphy an 8-pointer, see how it does there, and move it next season.
What
If
does
it's
Suicune stats look like?
100,
Yeah.
115, 115 or something.
Yeah, I guess this calm mindset could be cool, but like even then, it's like no recovery, so it'd have to be like rest, calm mind, like it's basically worse Suicune essentially, and it can't pressure stall anything.
No, yeah. Man, RIP the goat. Regular Manectric 1 point is fine. Honestly, not an.
Could be two, but
It used to be a pretty usable Pokemon. It is definitely not anymore, in my opinion, though.
wait, where's Mega Manectric? Ooh, the time has come. I personally think we should move it up to what was it before? 6 or 5? What was it? 5.
I think it
6, I think is
stays
better.
exactly where it is.
I think for a 5-point budget Mega, it was extremely good, and it gave a speed tier, but fair enough. I didn't like it wasn't amazing. It wasn't like, oh my god, like everyone. It's not. I think the lack of hidden power is devastating, but also
Mantine at
like,
4 is probably fine. It's actually a pretty good Pokemon. I almost had it on my draft. I like Mantine a lot this gen, but 4 is probably fine. Maybe I'll consider drafting it.
why is the Manectric text different than the rest? Oh, it's because it's 10 font instead of 8.
Maractus, the goat. Marowak. Marowak's a really cool Pokemon.
Is it worth putting it at 2?
I think it's worth 2. Marowak Alola at 8 could be 7. I think 7 is probably better for it.
It did get Poltergeist. It did get Poltergeist. So do we?
But it
move
already had that Shadow Bone move, right?
Yeah, but you know that's 85.
It's also I think was overpriced at 8 already, like really overpriced. I've never liked it very much.
It's kind of nice as a surprise mon. Like it's like that's why it's good in like OU sometimes is because it's like, oh my gosh, like he has a mon that's like can counter my Regieleki or something. It's like, oh that's bad, and then it never really does anything. Marshtomp, let's just
Masquerain, super cool mon.
With boots, yeah, cool.
I'm okay putting it at 1 because it like kind of never gets drafted, but it should get drafted. It's actually such a cool Pokemon.
Do we keep Mawile at 3? I mean, as a fairy type, it's not that good, but it does get rocks. And
like,
it's crazy to look at this. Like, I remember like what the D tier used to look like, and it's literally what E3 is right now.
Yeah, it's so regular Mile is probably 2, honestly.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Mawile Mega though
15, yeah.
And a Cham.
Regular,
Not really drafted, but it is extremely good.
Regular Metacham at 5, I think, is fine. I don't want to put it too much lower. Mega Metacham, I think at 14 is also probably pretty fine.
Yeah, it's like basically like, do you want speed? It's basically like more powerful Gallade, but you know, you sacrifice high jump kick and
Meganium, screw you, Nala.
Melmetal, I think 14 was good for it last season. It was good, but it wasn't like overbearing all the time. Like it was really easy to counter.
Meloetta at 8 is a really good Pokemon. The problem is that it's like doesn't do anything like roll wise. I'm okay with that at 8, maybe even down to 7, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
The problem is it's typing like you don't it doesn't like a lot of normal types do things like a lot of normals are rockers or like pivot or they just have rolls a lot of time, and then also so do a lot of psychics. So Meloetta is one of those mons like that every draft would really appreciate as far as like what it does stats wise, but then no draft appreciates because it just doubles down on types that they usually already had without giving them any like versatility.
Its stats are actually super dope. Like
no, Meloetta is a sick Pokemon. Meloetta is a super cool Pokemon.
I would actually draft this thing. I'm kind of intrigued.
I love Meloetta. The problem is like, did you already draft a Psychic? Because now Meloetta feels worse. Did you already draft a Normal? Because now Meloetta feels worse. Like it's really redundant with a lot of other Pokemon is what I find. Because I always want Meloetta, and then like I draft like an Uxie or a Mesprit or a Snorlax or like, and I'm like, ugh, Do I really need Meloetta now? Um, so I'm fine with Meloetta at 7.
I also put Mesprit in 6 because you drafted it, and
Maybe Meloetta should stay 8. I think it should probably stay 8.
it has good stats. I was just intrigued by it, and I saw the
Mes
lack of 7s.
Mesprit at 6 is probably okay. Yeah, I think
Probably.
it's okay. It's a really good 6-point mon.
Ooh, Metagross.
Regular
10 or 9?
It's a really good question. I was about to say the same thing. I freaking love Metagross, dude. It's such a good Pokemon.
Let me look at Metagross real quick. So Metagross got some good coverage, great
I'm
coverage.
thinking it stays 10. I think it's not going down to 9. No way.
Gets body press now, which isn't amazing for it because its attack was so high anyway. But you know, it's nice.
Metagross can't go down to 9. There's no way.
Yeah, it has good setup too. Like you could just run that rock polish weakness policy set. That's like,
dude, it's one of those Pokemon that like is so blanket checky. You know what I mean? Like like it. There's a lot of, for me when I'm building a draft. There's a lot of Pokemon that like I think I was like, this is a terrific blanket check mon. Like mons like Snorlax is a really good blanket check. Like you can kind of set up a Snorlax to beat just about anything. Metagross is like that. Like it started with bulky waters, but besides that, you can basically beat anything with it. Like, or like Mega Blaster is another mon that like they're just Pokemon that you can kind of like blanket check just about anything with it if you really need to.
Yeah. Because it doesn't have that many weaknesses, and like the weaknesses it does has, you can be just like, oh, you know,
Shuka,
like I'm just gonna
or
run
Air Balloon or like
Colbur or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mew 15 obviously. It might be one of the best. Like I'd say a top 5 Pokemon we allow. Mienshao at 10. Mienshao is really good. I think 10's probably okay though.
Yeah, I wouldn't move it down after having it last season. Actually, you know what? It does really struggle a lot. I honestly, maybe thinking back on it,
I think 10's
like
okay. My Milotic also probably 10. Maybe 11. People always draft my Milotic. Maybe 11.
Yeah, here's my thing with Mienshao. Like, not to go back on that, but like, after having it, it was just a mon that I was like, it was scratching my head. Like, wow, this just absolutely gets like, you can't really build around having a Mienshao weakness on the other team. Like, if they have, let me try to rephrase that. Basically, if you have a Mienshao and the other team is prepping for it and it doesn't have the best matchup versus some mons, it's incredibly hard to build around that. Like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I'll just run like this item or this item to deal with its checks or something. But it does have U-turn, so like, is that really warranted? I don't know.
It's tough. Yeah, no, I think we're gonna leave it at 10 though. It's a cool Pokemon at the end of the day. Miltank. I think Miltank is like a good like 6-ish pointer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a solid. Milotic.
Milotic is 10 or 11. I'm leaving it because people always draft it because bulky waters at that point in the draft are so valuable. Like no everyone's trying to pick up bulky waters at that point. I know because every season I'm trying to pick up a bulky water on there and it's always gone before it gets to me. I'm still salty.
It's always so funny because it will always be like, all right, time to get my bulky water, and then it's like 5 people in a row.
Yeah, exactly. It's always like it's like the end. It's like the early third round, end of the second, early third round. There's like a run on like Tapu Fini, Suicune, Milotic, Starmie.
Yeah, because
like they're all like, and Starmie's not even a bulky water, but like I'm just saying like they just start flying off the board at the end, like around like the beginning of the third round. It's like, where did all my water types go? What the heck just happened?
Yeah, and it's so funny because one person
it's every draft. It's literally every draft. So
the one person will be like, "Oh, I'm gonna get Tapu Fini," and they're like, "Oh my god, my Tapu Fini went. I got to get my backup now," and then it's like 4 people go after it, and you're like, "What the hell?"
Like Slowbro or like I don't know, like all these Pokemon. It's such a thing. It's so interesting to watch every single season. All the waters go right there. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mimikyu.
Mimikyu is kind of a bad 10-pointer.
But is it bad enough?
I think it's a 9. I think 9 is good for Mimikyu.
Really? Okay. I mean, yeah, it's really hard to sweep with it nowadays, especially with its new disguise.
Minior 4 is fine.
Could even be 3.
Yeah, but I think 4 is. It's like it is a dangerous sweeper if you under prep for it. I don't want to.
Imagine saying Minior is dangerous. Moltres 8. I think that thing should.
Oh, sorry, one sec. Oh, let's take a look. Moltres. Yeah, I think Moltres could go to 9, honestly.
Could even 10. I think
I think
Moltres.
9.
Well,
Let's
I guess
let's not jump too much at once. I think 9 is probably a good place to go.
true. I think it's just good in OU because of the fact that it has like it's a blanket check to a lot of mons. But Moltres Galar definitely worse. Could be 7, maybe 8.
Moltres Galar is a lot worse. I'd say Moltres Galar is at best 7, maybe 6.
Yeah, but then again,
I'd lean
is it worse
I'd
than
lean
Articuno?
6.
Is it worse than Articuno Galar? Is the thing.
I think it is. Doesn't it not have recovery?
True, but it also has like a lot better setup and better bulk. So yeah, I mean it's not great. I think it's a good.
Its ability is
6-pointer.
like
Berserk.
Doesn't have recovery. It's what is it set up? Nasty plot?
Agility, yeah. I think it's a good 6-pointer. I like it's not like in what is it special attack? 100? Yeah, that's 6 point. We'll see how it goes from there. Maybe move up and down from there, but Monferno, Morgrem can both go to the
So
Tartarus.
let's put Moltres Galar at
6.
6.
Motham, Mr. Mime can go down to the barrel too. I think
Morpeko at 4 is probably okay. Maybe
I think we
3.
overestimated.
I think 3 is better for Morpeko.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool,
Mime Galar.
but people like Mr. Rhyme Galar. I don't understand the love there.
Yeah, they both can go to 2. They're not great.
Mudsdale, super good Pokemon. Really, really good. I love Mudsdale. Honestly, could be a 5-pointer. Somewhere between 4 and 5. That's tough.
I'd say 5. I think it's insanely good, but it's my opinion.
Muck, regular Muck can honestly probably go to 1, but is a really, really good 1-pointer.
I remember I had a Muck once.
Muck
It was
is like
solid.
you will not be disappointed if you draft 1-point Muck. I guarantee you. Like that thing is not bad. Like real, like AV Muck, still good.
Didn't I think I brought it in a game versus you one time with when you had like a Togekiss.
Alolan Muck, we had a 5. Wasn't it like too good for that?
Yeah, I think moving it up to 6 is better. Like it's not great, but it's still very solid mon with its typing.
Okay.
Munchlax, Murkrow, time to copy those.
Munchlax is actually really good, but
do we move it to?
But it's 1. It's a 1-pointer, but it's really good. It's another like I'm making my list of like 1-pointers I'd actually draft, and it's on there. Like it is such a discount Snorlax. It's unreal. Like you will like it's like wow, this is not bad.
Yeah, that's true. It's like such a blanket check to a lot of mons.
Yeah.
Just worse. Musharna, I think, can move down to 3. I think I took the liberty there. It's never really drafted. Doesn't really have that much.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It'll be a good 3-pointer, but I'm okay with it going down there. Necrozma at 14 seems right.
Nidoking, I think it's solid at 10. Like it's always one of those mons. It's like it doesn't really get drafted every other season, but like it's a mon that's like always kind of going to be a threat no matter what. It's just too slow to really capitalize on it.
I think both the Nidos can just go to 10, honestly.
Yeah. Nihiligo.
12 is probably good for it.
Nala, I think, was making an argument for 13, but I do not agree whatsoever. That mon is not good enough for being an A-tier mon. Ninetales, I think is fine at 7. Could be 6, but you know.
I think it's probably 7 is okay, I think. Oh, sorry, regular Ninetales or Ninetales Alola?
No, regular Ninetales.
Regular Ninetales should be at best 6, maybe 5. I don't know why we had it at 7. Oh, we punished the setters, that's why.
Yeah, punish the setters.
We'll put it at 6, and we'll put Ninetales Alola at 7.
Really? Yeah, it's actually not that great anymore, especially with no hidden power.
Because the problem is you want to run boots on it so much now, but then you just aren't running Light Clay.
Yeah.
And then you're like, kind of a weird situation.
Ninjask, another cool 1-pointer that actually did get drafted last season.
Yeah.
But it was
It is kind of cool, I agree. Why do people like Noctowl now? Wasn't there a reason?
Yeah, because I think it got like banned from PU because it was insanely good with tinted lens, but I think it's a 2 1-point mon. It's
a 1-pointer. I don't care. Nobody's gonna tell me Noctowl's good. Noivern
Noivern,
7. I think Noivern at 7 is appropriate.
yeah, could move up, but we are kind of lacking on 7, so the C tier curse having like absolutely no C tiers whatsoever.
Noivern's a really good 7-pointer though.
True. Obstagoon, I do not think can move down to 9. It's insanely good. Like I think if you just
It's tough. It's right around there, man. It's a tough one. I'm okay going to 9, I think. I'm okay going to 9. The problem is, dude, it is cool, but like I drafted it once. I really liked it. It's a good breaker, but it's really in this position where its speed is super exploitable, because if you don't run Guts Facade with Flame Orb, like your speed is really exploitable. And then if you run, it's like you think it's a good Scarfer, but without a boosting, like without the Facade Guts boost, its attack is super underwhelming.
True. Yeah, it's like base 90 or something.
Yeah, it's like really bad if it's not actually a Guts Breaker, and then like it's super
It's not really fast
predictable.
enough.
Yeah.
It's not like Honk, who has like 135 base attack already, so it's like insane.
And like also has the thing about Kong also has Drain Punch, so it can make up for its lack of speed a lot of the time, and then use Facade to break through like really fat Pokemon. So.
So I put Omastar at 4, where it was before, and Orbeetle at 5. I think those are both good placements for them, just because Omastar did get drafted.
I think Orbeetle could go down, honestly.
Really, I actually liked Orbeetle a lot when I used it, and like it was like 8 mon,
right.
so it's maybe
all right.
not.
All right, I'm fine with that.
I think people always draft it, like maybe, or at least have the considering drafting it, just because of the fact that it's like a sticky web setter and it has like pretty good utility with body press and decently powerful, like even 80 base special attack.
Palisand at 5 is okay. It's a pretty good mon. Pangoro.
Oh, we skipped over Oricorio. Is that
That's a nice solid 2-pointer now. Pangoro is tough. I think it's gonna stay at 6. I don't think it's gonna go.
Oh yeah, I love Pangoro. Absolutely monster mon.
There's so many 1-pointers. I hate having to scroll down.
Yeah,
here's what we're gonna
it's
do.
yours.
Don't put the 1-tiers anywhere, and we'll just copy a bunch of them all at once later.
Oh, true. So
we'll just skip over them. Passimian.
Ooh,
I think 4 is fine.
Yeah, because it wasn't like too good for 3. Because I think we had 3 this season. I drafted and it was like pretty solid.
Pelipper at 9 is fine. Punish the setter a little at least.
And because it does have boots.
It's honestly a really good 9-pointer for rain teams. Like it makes rain really threatening. I think there might be a really good rain draft in the works here for someone.
Do we put Berserker at 3 or do we move it down to 2?
Berserker, I drafted in season 1 as my steal. Oh my god, that thing was bad. We're gonna put it at 2.
It's usable, but not by much.
Alolan Persian,
I think could move up to 4. That thing is always drafted.
I think so too.
Extremely sought after because it's of pivoting in speed. Mega Pidgeot did get drafted last season and was pretty solid. So I think 9 is good.
Yeah, I think 9 is fine. It could even be 10.
Yeah, it's like one of those. It's like Mega Manectric, kind of like you are wasting your Mega slot. It's a decent budget Mega, but at the same time, like it really is only doing a couple things. And if you have a mon that checks it at all, it's going to be pretty bad. Oh,
we're flying through these right now.
Might be able to get done actually. I just got to go at like 1 or so, which isn't like an hour. So
we're flying. So here's a chunk of ones we can just copy. Let me just do that.
I'll put Piloswine at 5. It's always drafted. It's a solid 5-pointer. It's great.
Yeah, I like Piloswine a lot. Pincurchin 4 is probably okay. Could maybe be 3. Yeah, 3 is okay. Make it a good mon.
I think it got drafted last season. Come on now.
Fine.
And also with Rising Voltage, that thing is actually insanely scary as a lead. Like Focus Sash, like, but Rising, if it's not a ground type, like that thing will do a massive amount of damage. Pinsir could probably be 1 instead of 2, but I don't know.
What mon were Ghost Cat and Dacking Ziptile? What mons were you guys talking about? All right, let's see. Pinsir at 2 is probably fine, but could also be 1.
That's what I was saying.
Probably should
Yeah.
just go 1. Nobody's drafting fucking regular Pinsir.
Banner Shifu S. We'll get to that. Me and Akeem will probably have a discussion about it because he's like more on the fence.
I
And
don't
probably
think it's
leaning
ban worthy.
not
I'm
unbanned.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not on the fence. I don't think it's ban worthy. I think it's a good mon. I don't think it's ban worthy.
Oh, they're saying Nihiligo. No, I don't think it has any chance to be 13. It's just too frail on the defensive side. 4 times weakness to ground is extremely exploitable, even if you have a ton of ground resist, just because ground is just a typing that you naturally will have more of a weakness to than a.
Mega Pinsir kind of sucks now. I kind of want to put it at 9. Lost.
No,
Dude,
no.
can't run boots.
You
Lost.
went from 11 to 9. Hold on.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was at 10 already. All right, fine. 10.
It was at 11.
All right,
I
fine.
think
10.
no, because didn't we move it down and then what was it? Oshawott like kind of wrecked havoc with it because
I don't
it was
think
like
Oshawott wrecked havoc with it.
yeah, he definitely did. Like season 3 or something. I remember his
Dude,
first season.
Mega Pinsir blows, dude. Lost return. Lost like can't run boots. Like Aerolate boots is what 1.2. Like ugh, no way.
Ugh.
I used to love Mega. That's coming from a person who used to love Mega Pinsir in Gen 6. Like I was my mod in Gen 6. No,
Yeah,
I
no
hate it
boots
now.
is definitely a problem. So yeah, I'm fine with 10. It's not amazing.
Polytoad at 5, punish the setter 6, or just leave it at 5. Nobody's drafting Polytoad. If you're drafting Polytoad for your rain team, like that thing sucks.
Yeah, I actually was thinking about using it or like just drafting it because it was a mon that was like it's a good bulky water in and of its own, and then it was like Drizzle was kind of like another boost to it, and you can just draft a mon that has nothing to do with Polytoad that has Swift Swim.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It got drafted last season at 5, but I think like afterwards. So we'll leave it at 5 for now. And if rain teams are absolutely broken next generation, then we'll reconsider. Poliwrath at 5. It did get CC and it didn't get drafted though. So do we keep it at 5? I'm leaning more towards drop it to 4. It's not amazing.
I'll leave it there.
At 5?
Yeah.
It's like-
Poliwrath.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, I was saying Polytoad.
Oh yeah, no, do not drop.
Oh no, drop Poliwrath. Yeah, Poliwrath to 4 at best. People were really hyped about all the things it got, but it actually was still underwhelming. Poltegeist, honestly, Poltegeist probably move up. I think it's a mon we missed on, and it's like actually really intimidating because it does a lot of things besides just click Shell Smash. Like it has Strength Tap and Shell Smash, which is a sneaky good combination.
Yeah. Move Porygon too. Do we move that up? I think we do because I think it's insanely good.
I think Porygon 2 at 9 is pretty much perfect.
Are you sure? So here's my rationale: is that everyone always drafts Porygon 2, and it's just such like an insane Gloomon to a lot of teams. It's kind of like.
No, I think it's basically exactly right at 9. I think Porygon Z should move down.
Mm-hmm. I think we.
To 9. That's a mon that used to be really good. It used to be like A3, like in CSL it was like a BL type mon. It's like slowly just kind of like down and down and down and down.
It's crazy the shifts you see with like losing Z moves, like
yeah,
the power
exactly.
Crazy.
Primarina, I think 8's probably good for Primarina. It's a good 8-pointer. I think it's a really good 8-pointer. But I don't think it's worth moving up.
Yeah, it's a good fairy. Doesn't have recovery though, so it's kind of left to just be mostly offensive. Maybe take 1 hit or so, but it's not really.
Primeape, the goat, 3
Could
points.
be 2. Really?
Could be 2. Put it to 2, dude. I love Primeape. That thing is good.
When has it ever been drafted?
Wait, is that
since
Harbor?
Then,
Is that the boy? VRT cubes. Is that actually Harbor?
the boy Harbor.
Harbor is absolutely the boy.
Probopass can probably go to 1 TBH, but we'll just save that.
Probopass, yeah, let's put it at 1.
Let's just copy this whole chunk of
Yeah, down to Perugly. Pyroar probably can move to 3. Amon again, that's kind of like the generations have been mean to because it just didn't give it anything new. because it used to be like a decently fast offensive fire type. Like you can also click hyper voice and be like kind of cool. Dude,
It needs
Harbor,
new
what is
moves.
up, my dude? Harbor's the GOAT. Don't let anyone ever say otherwise. If they do, send them to me. They need some smack talk. Puku Muku.
Not great. I think it honestly could move down to 2.
I hesitate to move. I think we leave it at 3. I just don't want to move it down because Abda will draft.
Oh yeah, true.
I leave it there so Ab doesn't instantly draft it and then make everyone want to kill themselves. I just want everyone to know this is for the good of the league. This is for everyone to not want to kill themselves. Yeah. Quillfish at 4, I think is good. It's a good mon, honestly.
Yeah, and I think it got stuff too. So
Raboot. Can Raboot just go to 1? Is that okay? Yeah, Raboot just goes to 1.
It gets drafted though every season.
Dude,
so
let the people draft it at 1. I'll give them that.
Dude, Neff and Free, I think both drafted.
And they both had one like 1 in 10. Like
no, don't do them like that.
Like probably because they drafted Raboot at 2 points.
That extra point could have gone to a superior 3 point.
Raichu, probably 3 is fine for regular Raichu.
Yeah, it could probably be 2, but
Raichu Alola.
Could we? Okay, so
probably 5
I know
is
that,
fine.
Yeah, but like on a terrain team, I feel like that thing would be stupid and annoying. Because like Rising.
But remember,
Bolt,
Coco kind of sucks now.
True, and you'd have to draft 2 electric types in order for that to be a thing.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. Punished a little bit, but
Raikou 12, I think is good. Maybe even 11.
I think it got drafted last season. It was really good, actually.
Okay, we'll keep it at 12. I might draft it, honestly, so we'll leave it at 12. That's fine. Rampardos 1 should not be.
It was 3. It was 3 last season.
Okay, fine, 2, but it should not even be 2. That thing is a piece of crap. Like, why was it 3? This is me realizing how bad our tiers were last season.
Yeah, because we didn't do it with everyone. Rapidash actually with heavy duty boots is solid, but I don't think we can put it much higher than like 2.
I think 2 or 3 is probably. I think 2 is fine. Rapidash Galar is a mon that like everyone was really into because it was a fairy, and it's got to go. Ooh, I think 3
that might be
best.
2 as well.
It's gonna let's not jump that much at once, but let's move it down to 3 because it sucks. I think everyone was so excited for it because it was like, oh, it seems like a good fairy, and then people realized like, oh, just because it's a fairy doesn't mean it's a good mon.
Should we put you want to put Raboot at 1?
Dude, everyone just, we have a quick shout out to Harbor in the chat for being the GOAT and helping me so much. That's all.
Should make me an administrator in the chat. Or moderator, whatever the heck. Fine, we'll move if Raboot, man. I think it's a solid. I think it's a 2-pointer.
It's 1, and nobody's going to say anything to make me change my mind.
Yeah, I thought the drafting would have made you.
No, that one sucks, and I'm sorry to the people that drafted it at 2. That was me doing you a disservice.
Ooh.
Regice to 2, I think.
Okay.
Here we go. Some new mons. Regidrago. Kind of sucks. I'm thinking like 6.
6. I want to pull up. 7.
I want to pull up its stuff.
It's extremely strong with the Dragon's Maw, but it just gets shut. It's the same. They're both the similar thing where they just get shut down.
One gets shut down by fairies. One gets shut down by grounds.
Yeah, and Regidraco's slow, so it's like.
So it can't even like. Yeah.
It's frail as hell. Its move requires it to be at full health for it to utilize fully.
I think Regidrago 6. It's like just slightly better Guzzlord. It feels like to me.
True, and it's like extremely like frail and.
Where do we put Guzzlord? 3. So I'm okay with 6. It'll probably get drafted because it's a new mon. Reggie Alecki. Here's one that I know you're really into, and I'm like, I think somewhere in between. Like I think I'm not a hater, but I'm also not as hyped as most. Or as I think I'm gonna say probably around 11.
I would agree. I think it's a mon that I don't think can be much lower than 11 or 10, just because of the fact
I
that
don't
like
think I would put it at 10 because it's just so damn fast and actually does have rapid spin, like, so it can actually offer some team support. Its coverage is unbelievably bad. Like I don't think I've ever like it doesn't get other moves.
yeah. But it's so strong with the moves it does get that if you're able to even just like lure in a ground type, if like your team is even slightly built around just luring in a ground type, like not that Reggie Eliki is a mon that's like, oh yeah, you want to build around, but like if you just have the support for it, it's a mon that can just absolutely wreak havoc, just how fast it is, and just it can invest everything in special attack.
Like
So
it's like it can bear like so. Dashing Sceptile just said in the chat that you can just run Hyper Beam to hit ground types. I don't know if that's the play, but like it does suck that like it doesn't get anything. Like it can barely hit them neutrally.
that's true.
Like if it could hit them with like I don't know like Shadow Ball like or something, like just something.
Like yeah, like ancient power. Ooh,
if it
so
had,
scary.
If it had something to hit a ground type with, like just a neutral move that was like 80 base power to click, I'd be like 12 point. Let's do it.
True, but it's also not that powerful without stab moves. So it's basically just spam electric moves, and electric isn't that good of a move. So maybe, just maybe, we move it to 10.
It's either 11. It's 11. I'd say it's a strong 11 for me.
Okay. I mean, I was leaning more towards 11 anyway, but I know a lot of people, at least in our panel, and like some other people have been very vocal about making it lower because it's not that good.
No, it's funny. I didn't think I was on Regieleki that much. I thought it was like kind of in middle, but it sounds like I'm a fan of it compared to everyone else. No. I think it's a good mon. It's warp speed matchups very nicely. It lets you completely control that. It does have like all you can basically do is run like rapid spin screens electric move or like rapid spin a screen and two electric like volt switch plus another electric move.
Yeah, or like just all electric moves and like some other attack or something, like maybe like rapid spin 3 electric moves like Thunder Cage or Thunderbolt volt switch kind of thing, or E-Speed.
What a goddamn Pokemon, man. Why did they do it like this? Why did they do Reggie Draco and Reggie Eleki this dirty? Like, what is up with that?
I don't know. They've been restrained. Like, they
did these poor boys extremely dirty. Reggie Gigas.
I think it's 3. I think it was so annoying with like.
I think it stays there.
It's just like I think it's like I know a lot of people were clamoring for it to move up to 3 at least, just because of the fact that it's like it's so bulky that like a lot of teams can just kind of run Reggie Gigas and like kind of body press away. Like it's not great by any means. Like rest and protect shit was like kind of getting ahead of themselves, but I do think it's like a mon that's like 2 points might be a little too low for it.
Do you think Regirock to 3 or 4? Probably 4, right?
Yeah, it gets drafted, and it's insanely like good at just setting up rocks because of its ability and being so bulky. Registeel, I think, can stay at 8. It's a really solid like bulky mon that's always just kind of been a middle.
Yeah, Reggie Gigas did get to dashing. It did get that stuff, but I still feel like you don't actually care. Registeel is where we put it 8. Yeah, solid. Relicanth probably 1 or 2.
I think it can go to 1.
I think it can go to 1. Reuniclus, I think is 11. That's easy.
Yeah.
Rhydon 5. Rhydon's a good Pokemon. What's interesting is there's a lot of good ground types right around that in D tier. There's like Piloswine, Mudsdale, Rhyperior, Rhydon, Palisand. Like there's a lot of good ground types right around here.
Yeah. What do you think about moving Rhyperior up to 7? I think it's a insane.
I'm wondering if Rhydon should move down to 4.
No. Well, did it get drafted? So like let's look at the drafting.
Did Rhydon get drafted?
Might not have. It's like good, but
I'm gonna move it down to 4 and make someone happy.
That might be a mistake.
Rhyperior, I think, can stay at 6.
Rabombi, I think, can also stay at 5. Actually, it's kind of bad. It is kind of bad.
I mean, it used to be a C tier mon. I think 5 is fine. I always
It's
really liked Rabambi. I might still draft it there.
it's
More
it's like
versatile than people realize because it gets like screen support, U-turn, but also like the quiver dance set still exists. The big thing that hurt it was losing Z moves and hidden power, so it can't hit steals. Because it used to be able to like click a powerful Z move at some point to nuke something, and also had hidden power, fire, or ground to hit steals. Um, so it's
yeah.
like its quiver dance set got a lot worse, which was its best set, but it still has other sets that it can do things with. I think 5 is fine.
Yeah, it's also a fairy, and like just being a fairy alone, like that's how good that typing is even if you are a fairy
It's also a
and like
great
kind of
speed tier.
true. Yeah, you did Rillaboom. I think Rillaboom's a weird one because I feel like it's like could be higher because it's just like, but also like it's grass type, and yeah, not really much to say on Rillaboom. It's a weird mon, but I
I
don't
think
think it could.
you can't really put it much lower than 13 though.
Mhm.
Roserade 7, what a bad mon.
But you know we are kind of dry on sevens, so
Yeah, it'll go there. Rotom
could go down, but I think it was actually drafted and actually decent last season.
regular
So
Rotom, I think 3 is fine.
oh,
Wait, sorry, no, sorry. I was looking at Rotom Fan.
Rotom fan.
Sorry, Rotom Fan, I think 3 is fine. I think honestly regular Rotom should move down to 4.
I think all people are always for the Rotom forms with Defog, and like with the ghost typing, like I think Rotom is just like kind of just got that offensive allure too. Doesn't really get much with Poltergeist or whatever.
Let's do Rotom, and I'm gonna keep leaving it in 4. Rotom Frost.
I think Rotom Frost is horrible, but you know
I didn't love it, but the couple of games I brought it to was kind of sick. I think I'm gonna move it to 4 though.
The thing is, like, you think it's a electric type that has a way to deal with grounds, but with 70%
Yeah,
accuracy,
you miss it,
really,
then you
is it
realize
really a way to deal with grounds?
Yeah, no, that's very true. if it actually did deal with grounds, it would be a very different Pokemon.
Yeah, like you're literally like, oh, you're relying on a 70% move to hit, and then like if you miss, then they could just have like a Stone Edge and just completely like eradicate your one mon that you were that was supposed to deal with that. Rotom Heat, I think, is a mon that everyone always drafts. It's been solid. It's fine. Like it shouldn't really move down. I don't think. Rotom Mo, same thing. It's usually always drafted, and I don't really feel too comfortable moving it to 7 because it's good setup mon, good Scarfer. Could be good at like just being a tank. Take some ground type hits.
Oh, I messed up the stream, guys. I broke the stream.
Oh no. Oh, dude, they're like all Dashing Sceptile says Reggie Draco 6, Reggie Elky 12, IMO. If you say Reggie Elecky's coverage is bad, just wait till you get Spectrier. I don't know. I haven't seen it too huge of an argument for Reggie Gigas.
Like
Rotom Wash, another mon that I think is
everything on the stream right now. This is very embarrassing, guys. I'm very sorry.
I'll stop tearing then.
Okay, all right. There we go. That's all fixed.
Oh, like I was like, I think it's a little delayed. But anyway, Rotom. I put Rotom. All the Rotom forms are going to be in the same place. You moved Rotom down to 4. I think that's fine. I guess like it wasn't like a mon that had to be 5 because it was good. It was just Runerigus. What are we thinking?
Right. Is everyone still here? I'm kind of confused if I like messed up the stream irreparably. I don't know how I did that. I like accidentally closed out of everything.
A couple people left, but I think it's all good.
If people are still here, say something in the chat. Please. Please.
Wait a couple seconds for people to catch up.
Did I mess up irreparably?
We can make it if we try, just the two of us. We're actually almost done.
Yeah, we're flying.
I love how Latios is yet to be tiered still.
Yeah, we'll get there. I think the stream is down.
It's up for me, I think. Hold on, let me actually
Tiered still.
Yeah, no, it's up.
Oh, why are the people not answering the question? Are you here? Say something, please. I need to know.
Ooh, and you even got an ad roll before.
Oh, let's go.
Making a couple cents, you know.
Season's greetings. I'm celebrating with my homemade eggnog because Simply Safe Home Security is having a huge sale.
Yeah, I don't know why people aren't saying anything. It's fine for me.
Making a couple
so.
cents.
All right, yeah, okay. Well, I see the streams live, so these people are all just not talking and hurting my feelings. All right, whatever. Okay.
Bruno Regis could move down, maybe. Did get Poltergeist though, so.
Bruno
but that was.
Regis. Let's see. Where is it right now? 5. I think that's fine. I got Poltergeist, so let's not move it down just yet. Regular Sableye.
It's always going to be annoying, but I don't think we can move it much lower than 2 because it's just so annoying.
Yeah,
Mega Sable. Mega Sableye keeps falling down the ranks, and I feel like once someone drafts it, it's going to be an absolute mad.
No, I don't think it's going to
Pokemon.
go down below 8.
Yeah. Salamence, I think, is a very solid 13-point mon, especially with all the stuff it got. Boots.
I honestly think it can move down to 12.
Really? Really, really, really?
Yeah. Dude, nobody's
always gonna
talking
be a
in the
threat,
chat.
though.
I'm so confused.
I don't know. Maybe they're muted.
It's tough. I do think it could maybe be.
I can see the argument for 12, but I think there's so much it can do. Like, it can be a wish support mon, it can be just a physical attacker, it can be a mixed attacker, it could be a setup sweeper, it could be a scarf Pokemon, it could be just like a bulky Pokemon with boots, like Defog Roost boots. Intimidate and Moxie both give it different utility. And like I said before, it does get dual wing beat. I don't know if we had that last season. I'm pretty sure we didn't have that option last season. I think with dual wing beat, I think it should stay.
Fine.
And it also got drafted, Akeem. Come on now.
Fine. All right.
Salazzle
a mon that always
could
gets
move
drafted.
Does
I'm
it?
gonna leave it. Always gets drafted. Someone always drafts Salazzle. It's because it's got a good speed tier, and people think like I always every time I draft Salazzle, I think it has U-turn, and then I realize after I draft it, oh, it didn't have that. And I made that mistake multiple times.
The Mandela effect. Sandaconda?
I think it should move down.
Yeah, it's not great. Pure ground.
Sandslash.
Sandslash. I wouldn't move it down.
Probably keep it at 2.
It's a good 2-pointer with spikes now.
Yeah, I agree. And Spike, it's like a good like budget fortress. If you ever thought you should draft Fortress, now you have the option to draft Budget Fortress.
I actually think Sandslash is pretty solid, but it's so like it's too weak to do anything. It's too slow. It's not even that bulky. Like, not great. Alolan Sandslash used to be the apple of people's eye, but now it is now.
Where do we have it? 3? It should be 2.
3. Yeah, I remember when I saw it at 2.
Sock could be 3.
Actually,
I think we move it down to 3.
Oh, but Sandslash Alola got spikes. I don't know. I mean,
I don't think it's that good. I think it's fine.
Yeah, the only kind of perk is it's an ice type that isn't weak to rocks, but Sawsbuck, just we'll skip past that one. Sceptile, I think is a solid 3-point mon. I wouldn't move it too far down.
It's kind
I
of
guess
one of those weird
Sceptile-
ones that like you can. Yeah, I think Sceptile 3 is fine.
Sceptile Mega actually was really sought after last season, so we could move it up to 7. But
For some literally inexplicable reason.
I think it has good reason because the fact that it's like it has great physical and special sets. It's a great speed tier for 6 points. Like it's a good
let's slow down here a sec. It does not have great physical or special sets.
Oh,
it has good physical or special sets.
Yeah, I mean for a Pokemon that has like. Okay, maybe I was a little. I overestimated Sceptile a little bit. However, it does get Dragon Dance now. Not that that really does anything for it, but it can invest more in that.
SD anyways. That's your speed.
It can invest in that really awesome 70 base HP stat. Actually, I would think would be cool would be a Sceptile set that was like mixed with Dragon Dance. Like maybe like you run like it doesn't get Draco Meteor, but
Like
maybe you
Leaf
can run like
Storm.
Leaf Storm
Yeah,
and then like to
2 attacks,
and
physical
Dragon
attacks.
Dance. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, could be a thing.
that'd be cool.
Um,
Not enough to move it up, but
Mega Scissor, we'll just go to 15.
Scolipede I think is awful, but do we move it down from 12? Maybe because it doesn't Baton Pass might be banned.
Yeah, if Baton Pass is banned, a big part of its niche is gone. I think we move it to 12. Or sorry, to 11. Where was it right now? Where was it before? It moved down one. So yeah, it moves down one to 11.
Yeah, it's a mon that is good in setup, but it's doesn't have the best stab.
Scrafty at 5 is probably as low as you can go.
Another mon that used to be a
So
great
good. It used to be so good, and now it's like just poor Scrafty, buddy.
Reminiscing. Scyther's horrible. Let's move that thing
I
down
thought
to
you
4.
used to love Scyther.
Did I?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It got dual wing beat too. Technician dual wing beat.
Yeah, but it's
But also
not
it's
good.
Scyther.
Like you want to run boots or do you want to give it actual bulk and give it Eviolite?
Let's copy this chunk of
Don't get me wrong, Technician dual wing beat is really awesome, but are people still going to draft
poor
Scyther?
Scrafty. I agree, Dashing Sceptile. Poor Scrafty.
Finally, thanks Dashing Sceptile for being the only constant in the stream.
Yeah, seriously.
Shout out to you.
Seismitoad 9 I think is fine. It'll always get drafted.
Superior,
Maybe
another
15
mon.
points in someone drafted, I'm pretty sure. Seismitoad like always gets drafted.
Superior's a really solid 9-point mod, but looking at the other
I'm
9
gonna say move it to 8.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
So here's my thing with that is that like Superior, even without hidden power, is insanely annoying with like it's like its speed alone just gives it enough wiggle room to just like invest in some bulk or like maybe just a little bit of offense, but like it can still run a lot of speed. Leaf Storm still allows it to blow past a lot of the shit. So it's not a great like 9-point mon. Don't get me wrong. Like there's other mons I'd rather choose, such as like Aggron Mega. I guess if I didn't have a Mega, Incineroar, but like I would choose Superior over like a Cloyster. Well, maybe not always, but I don't know. Maybe we can move it to 8. It's among the other 9-pointers. It's a little underwhelming, and it's only a pure grass. So is it really doing much? I say we move to 8. Why not? I don't know if it got drafted last season, but I think it. Yeah, you know what? We'll move it to 8. We'll see how it does. I think it's on the cusp because it's kind of a bad 9-pointer, but we can save this 7-pointers. Sharpedo I think is a solid mon, but for 7 points, I think it is. I mean, I wouldn't put it down because I think it'd be a little too good. But it's so frail that it's so hard to find matchups for it. Could actually be 6, in my opinion, but Earth to Akeem.
Yeah, sorry, I just got a text. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Sharp.
Superior beats and sometimes.
Wait, did you moved it to 8?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning more towards 8 now. I was looking at the other 9-point mons, and I was like,
Yeah, I agree.
It's just
all
not
right.
good.
Mega Sharpedo 9 is fine. Maybe 10. Maybe 9's too good, but I don't know if it got drafted, so. Shaman 8. I like Shaman a lot. I did not understand the Shaman hate, but if people want to move Shaman to 7, I'm fine with that too, honestly.
I do not think it should move to 7. I think like with Superior there too, like why would I
Like
Shaman's still gonna be a sought after.
I really like Shaman. I was like, every time I brought it, I was like, wow, this thing feels really good. Like even if a resist comes into Seed Flare, it might not be a resist next turn.
It's basically better Celebi in every regard because Shaman has an extremely powerful.
Well, I wouldn't say it's better Celebi in the sense that it's Celebi has U-turn and rocks, but I would say it's better than Celebi.
Well, it's better Celebi in the sense it's a grass type, like, and they both have natural cure. They're both mythicals, and one is more offensive than the other, and it would rather be offensive than a tank that has horrible, typing that it can't actually function as a tank.
Yeah. So I'm okay keeping it at 8. I liked it a lot.
always gets drafted. Shiftry could on Sun teams it's good, but who's ever drafting a Sun team? So I don't know. It's extremely good.
Let's
with
leave
like
it at
weather
let's leave it at 3 because it doesn't need to be drafted on a Sun team. It does other things like it's like rapid spin, sucker punch, like mixed attacker.
Oh, it doesn't get rapid spin, but
it gets defog. Sorry.
oh yeah, true. I was like, wait, did I miss something? Shuckle, I think is fine at 4. It's always usually drafted. So.
Honestly, I think it should go to 3. That thing's a piece of trash.
Really? It's really annoying though sometimes, but I can see that it's kind of a Trapmon 4-pointer. Like he was like, oh my god, it has sticky webs and rocks, and it can like, it's so bulky that it can like infestation install. It's out of its.
Sigilith at 5 is probably fine. Could go up even maybe.
I think Sigilith is really good, but was it really good last season? I think Easy Bake had it. And Easy Bake was kind of MIA this season, so we didn't really get to see the full potential of it.
Silvally.
I think it's fine.
11's good, I think. Such a good glue.
Yeah.
The Simmies will all go to 1.
Remember when we had like Silvally at like 13 points or something? I remember it was like a mon that everyone was like hearkening over, and then it actually didn't get drafted.
Surfetched is another mon that I feel like is really good. It's another one of those like discount Conkeldurr type mons. I really like Surfetched, but I can't tell if it should be 6 or 5.
I don't know. I do think we should move Skarmory up though. I think Skarmory is a mon.
1 second. I'll leave it at.
Put it at 6, my man. Put it at 6. Could be 5.
I'm gonna put it at 5 and make someone happy. Skarmory. Let's think about Skarmory. Where was it? 12? I think Skarmory is 12 is really solid. I think it's just really good there, actually. I like Skarmory more than Corviknight, I think. It's tough, but but my thing about Skarmory is that people don't like, on average, I know the consensus is that it's not as good as Corviknight. And it's a lot worse, actually, in the consensus. No, I really like it at 12 point. It's a mon that I would always consider at 12, but I don't think we should move it higher.
Fair enough. I think it's like slightly. What is it? Oh no, it's actually significantly less bulky than Corviknight with.
I mean,
HP.
physically it's bulkier. Especially, it's just not. That's how it kind of goes. Corviknight's
Yeah,
a little
with
more
Corviknight, a lot more
the thing about Corviknight is it has U-turn, which is huge, and it has. Corviknight also has body press, iron defense, which is, although Skarmory has that too now, I think. But yeah, Corviknight can do it better because it can run specially defensive.
True. Because it can be like Spadef and then boost its defense alongside it.
Skuntank at 3 is fine.
Slacking, Sliggoo, we can skip over those. Slowbro, I think is a solid 12-pointer. Like it was good last.
Yeah, I think Slowbro at 12 is good. It's a good 12-pointer though. It's like a really good one. Didn't Abda have it? Maybe it could even go to 13.
It could, but I mean, as much as we want to punish the stall players, I think, Slowbro at 13 is like, I don't know. It's extremely annoying. Like if you do not have a check for it, like it's going to be one of those mons that just keeps coming in. I don't know. Will people draft it at 13 is the question. Probably.
It's tough. It's a good question. It was really good though last season.
Yeah. I don't know. I think 12 is fine for it though.
Okay.
Slowbro Galar, I think
sucks.
is it could be 5. It could be 5. That thing is
I think
absolutely.
We'll leave it at 6, but it sucks. It could be 5. It could be 5 actually.
It's like it has good physical attack, but like it just sacrificed everything for that 100 base physical attack. Like my man, like you really like. It's not good offensively. Like it's just too piss poor offensive stats, and like its typing is weird, but it should be good as a defensive mon, but it's not defensive. So
yeah, it's a close one.
Good. It's cool 4 times fighting resist though. It didn't even get drafted last season. Let's move that thing down to 5. If someone drafts it and like wrecks havoc with Slowbro Galar, we can counter losses and move it up there. Like it's it's a mon that I'm not scared of at all. I think we can move that thing down.
Where are we?
Mega Slowbro, significantly worse. I think we can keep it at 11. I don't think we should move it down because I think if the right player has it, it
Yeah.
can be instant.
I think it's the one I'd consider drafting, honestly.
With body press, like it no crit, so it can just like blow past all of its.
Slow King. There's a lot of mons I'm like very much interested in drafting. This is gonna be a fun draft.
I agree. I don't think Slow King is that good.
Slow
But
King.
I do. I think 9 is fine for it, but I think
it's fine. It's maybe a little cheap, honestly.
Oh no, it's.
I think it's close to Slowbro now.
That lack of defense is extremely hard. It didn't really work well on my team, but
I don't know
Slow King
almost anything about Slow King Galar. I know it's probably a little worse, but I honestly don't feel comfortable enough, so I'll let you talk about it while I'm researching.
Well, no, it's actually significant. It's literally only better because the only stat that was dropped was attack, and the thing that was raised was special attack. So it's like slightly
but its
more
typing
offensive.
is super bad compared to the other two.
Actually, it's not. It's actually a really solid. So I've been playing
no way. If
fairy check, it's an amazing fairy check because it's resistant fairy. It's 4 times resistant
what's
to
its
fighting.
signature move?
It's basically PP stall move. It's not amazing. I think it's a mon that could probably be on par with Slow King. I think bulky waters are like sought after more, but I think this is as a mon, maybe 8 could be good for it. It's significantly
okay. I'm okay with it at 8.
It's basically Slow King with I think Water Psychic's kind of a bad typing personally.
No, Water Psychic is good.
Yeah, but you have to be
Water
super
Psychics are
bulky
there,
to make it work.
Dude, like the Slowbro, Slow King, Starmie. There's a lot of good Water Psychics in the game.
Trying to think. Let me look at what are slow. My brain cannot comprehend. I don't know about you, but I cannot comprehend what the weaknesses are of Poison Psychic type.
Ground, Dark, Ghost.
Oh yeah, true. But I guess the ground weakness is annoying. But then again, you also have the added fairy resistance, so that could be kind of a draw for a lot of people. I think 8 is good for it. I think we leave it there.
Ground, Dark, Ghost are the weaknesses, which isn't bad. Honestly, it's okay. It's better defensive typing than I was giving it credit for.
That's so weird.
Okay, so Slurpuff. 6 is fine. Sneasel, probably 6 is fine. People always draft Sneasel at that point.
Yeah.
It's like one of the only mons that like your opponent has to prep for at D tier that also gives you a speed tier. You know what I mean? Like you draft your speed tier at D, a really important speed tier in D, but still your opponent actually has to prep for it and respect it, and that's pretty valuable.
Well, hold on. We're getting up to Swellow, so I don't know if you're. I don't know about that. But
That's
yes,
true.
I agree.
Snorlax is all slow, so I would say Swellow is the other comparable mon in that world.
Yeah.
Snorlax. Probably 9 is fine.
I wouldn't move it down. I don't
think I'd move it down. I'm trying to think if it should go up back to 10.
No. Nah.
Yeah, I don't think so. I had it last season. I don't think so either. Spectrier, I feel like is just a 14-pointer.
Yeah, extremely good offensive Pokemon, but great speed tier.
Like,
I think in
I want to talk about it a little more because it's a new mon, but I feel like there's not much to talk about with this Pokemon. Just like it's just like roided out Gengar, basically.
Basically. Grimnay's super cool. I mean, it's a really cool mon if it's like if your opponent doesn't have a normal type or like you're super ghost weak.
Dashing Sceptile says Spectre belongs in 13.
I don't know, because I think I've heard arguments from 15 to 13, maybe even 12. Some people
I don't think
like
it's a 15-pointer. I think it's a medium 14-point type mon.
I draft Spectrier over like Jirachi, or I don't know. It's like a medium 14-point mon. Like I drafted over every 13-point mon.
I'm okay moving it to 13, I guess.
No, I think it should be 14. I don't want someone
really like.
Imagine Spectrier being their secondary threat. Like imagine they have like Mega Scizor, Spectrier. Like you can have like 3 A-tier mons like reasonably and still have a really solid team. And I think with like Spectrier being like a secondary, even a tertiary threat, I don't know, man. Like having a 13, 13, 15, and like other B-tier mons that are good, like that one extra point really can make the difference between having a broken team and
Yeah, but like I'm okay. Well, like I want to think about it less in the like space of how many points does you have for the rest of your team, because you can say that about any Pokemon, and more about just Spectre in a vacuum. It's really not versatile at all. Like gets walled by every dark type, gets like walled by every normal type.
but it can still do other things than just spam Shadow Ball. Like it can be like, oh, I can, sub Willow or something. Like
But
if
is
that
Sub
normal
Willow even
type is
that good? Like on a Pokemon
like
that has,
Snorlax, for example.
and then what? Okay, you Sub Willow, but then what?
I guess if they have Facade, then it's kind of like only helping them. But then they could also have other moves.
Like yeah, like I don't feel like Sub Willow to beat normals isn't a thing because you still can't hit them after that.
Yeah, but its speed tier is so insanely good too. That's another thing.
I'm
to
leaning
consider.
towards 13. The more I think
Like
about
it's
it,
a mon that's
like, but speed
yeah.
tier can't be like I'm just saying like its counters are like, let's compare it to like Regieleki. I think is a really good comparison actually, like a really good comparison. It's got a better offensive typing, but almost equally incapable of hitting the things that wall it. Doesn't have any utility, like no utility. Its speed tier is great, but there's other mons that have great speed tiers around here. Like Tapu Koko is going to be around here.
Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to the Tapus yet.
Sub Willow Hex is a thing. Okay, but Sub Willow Hex doesn't help you beat anything you weren't already beating. Like people keep saying Sub Willow, like I came in here honestly thinking it was going to be 14. Like I was like pretty set on 14. And the more I look at it, it's just like, dude, any normal type, like you've given up hope.
Yeah, it's just the only thing is like if you don't. So a lot of teams, I would say probably half the teams, just don't have a normal type. So that's like,
well, no, it's draft
and
league.
I know
Most teams draft normal types in draft league.
Not really. Like there's a lot of times people just don't have normal. Like yeah, sure they'll be like, oh, I need a rocker. Maybe Miltank's a good rocker. Let me just draft Miltank. Like they're not drafting a normal, usually for the sake of being normal. Obviously, there are some teams like I know Rio is like normals are amazing type because like with how good ghosts are. Like I think people that are extremely aware of like certain holes in teams want to fix that, but normals are not good. Normals are really hard to come by, so it's not a type that people.
I don't know. What do you
like
think, Noah? Do you think it should be 13 or 14?
I'm on the fence because I think as a 14-point mon, like I would choose it over like Infernape, but like I'd probably rather have Melmetal, Necrozma, because they obviously are more versatile. So like what's really cool about this generation is they have a lot of mons like Regieleki and like Spectrier that are like extremely one-dimensional, but
they're specialists.
So good.
This is gonna be the new term. We have our terms. We have like the Trapmon term. I think we're gonna start calling these the specialists. Like
the specialists.
They're the specialists. They're like really good at just one thing every week.
Yeah, but then you look at 13-point mons and be like, I'd rather have Spectrier over Buzzwole. I'd rather have Spectrier over Dracovish.
I agree with a couple of those, but like for example, like let's do the obvious comparison to Gengar. Like Gengar is way more versatile. I don't think people consider Gengar a very versatile Pokemon, but it's way more versatile than Spectrier. So what does that say? Like think about it, like Gengar can run like Nasty Plot, actually run sub Willow sets, sub Disable sets a lot better.
I mean, Spectrier actually has
insane coverage. Yeah, Spectrier has Nasty Plot, but I mean, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But I just feel like, it is weird to put Gengar and Spectrier in the same tier.
I think Spectrier is significantly better than Gengar. So if we put Spectrier in 13, I think Gengar has an argument to be in 12.
Well, okay, let me look at a couple other tiers. Let's pull up some stuff. So like here, one I've been looking at some of the APA stuff, and I've been looking at some of the DPL stuff. Like DPL, which is just started, so they've got a pretty up-to-date tier list that most of the community is now using, so you'd assume is probably pretty well made. They have Spectrier at 16 out of 18 points, which is right around 13,
The barrier.
14. It's like it rounds to 13, but it's right around there. Gengar, in comparison, is at 15, which also is 13 points on our system. Yeah.
So maybe Spectre would be a high tier 13. Like ghosts are obviously really good. So maybe like all these like amazing ghost types will really kind of force a lot of normal types, and Spectre will not be super overbearing. But I think on a team that's like has a okay like a dark type that's like maybe like a Scrafty or a Pangoro or like something like an offensive dark that's like not really wanting to switch into attacks, or at least not a lot. Like I can see Spectre just like absolutely running through teams if the matchup dictates it, which is kind of making me lean towards 14, but it's also just gets shut down if it's like, you face a Snorlax, it's like, well, I literally cannot do anything, so I just have to hope that
maybe this will be another one along with Latios that we leave for the time being.
Okay, that's fine. Spiritomb, I think, is a mon that is insanely good with Poltergeist now, but I don't think it's like that good to really move it up too much.
Well, we are so close to done. Holy crap, we've flown through it. Okay, let's grind.
Yeah.
Let's grind here. Let's finish this. Come on. All right.
So Spiritomb got Poltergeist. They got Hex, which is really good with Will-O-Wisp. Is it enough to
I don't think it's
warrant
enough to
moving
move
up
down.
4?
I think it's 3. I think it stays at 3. Stack Attack has to move up
Could probably move up just because of
to 8.
could even move up 2 tiers. Like I'd
say
looking.
I'd say let's move it up to 8
Okay.
at least. But
So Raptor always kind of has to be a mon that just kind of slowly falls, but it's still extremely good if someone actually picks it up. Starmie, I do not like Starmie at all, but do we move it to?
I'm fine with 11. I'm fine with 11. I'm fine with 11, honestly.
Yeah, it's a horrible bulky water.
Flip Turn
It's
it's not a
good.
bulky water even. It's like barely, and like it's Flip Turn doesn't help it because it runs into like I can't think of a lot of Pokemon that have worse 4 move slot than Starmie. like it's bad. Like you can never run all the moves you need to run on your Starmie. Steelix.
Now it's that point where power is caught up to it, so it's actually not even that powerful.
It's really not. Yeah.
Steelix, I put the same tier, like both of them.
Yeah. Mega Steelix.
Stoutland, I think, is a good.
I think Steelix regular should be
sorry.
5, and Mega Steelix should be 8. Where's regular Aggron? 8. Yeah, so 8's probably fine.
Let's see. Yeah, Aggron. Oh, okay.
So Aggron should be better, I think, but not a lot better, right?
Yeah. Stoutland is a mon that someone usually always drafts because like sand is it's good on sand because it's a normal type and it does things that other sand sweepers don't really do, so it's kind of has a niche there. Stunfisk is usually drafted because it's a really good typing and it's pretty bulky rock setter.
I think Stunfisk could have come to 4, honestly.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. Stunfisk Galar should probably move down though. That thing is horrible.
Yeah, I agree. We're gonna have a nice chunk of 1-pointers here. I'll move all those.
Yeah. While you do that, we can talk about Suicune. Actually, you should have just waited till Suicune because there were like 3 more ones after that.
That's okay. Suicune.
Always
I think 11 is
11.
just a good spot for it.
Swampert, I think, should move up to at least 9 because of the fact it got Flip Turn.
Okay.
Makes it really good.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. And Mega Swampert, I think 11 is
Honestly,
probably okay. 10 maybe, but
no, I mean with Flip Turn, like it's not really doing it. I think Flip Turn wasn't really helping it out too much, so I don't think it should move down. But I don't think it's enough to warrant going to 12.
So let's keep it 11.
Swellow.
Swellow.
I don't think should move down. It's always drafted.
It definitely can't move down. I'm trying to decide if it should be 6 or 7.
Ooh, 6 or 7. I think people would still draft it at 7.
I think people would still draft it at 7, so I'm leaning towards 7.
I would draft Swellow over many of the 6 tier.
Yeah, I think I would draft. I mean, I know I would draft Swellow over every single 6-pointer because I do draft Swellow over every single 6-pointer. I think Swellow's got to go to 7 eventually. It's tough, but it's close. But Swellow at 7's okay. It is better than everything else there.
Sylveon, I'll just put it 11. I think it's a mon that's like could be 10.
I think let's move it to 10. Honestly, like I didn't love it.
It's not that good.
I didn't love it. I'm trying to think Swoobat. Swoobat probably stays at 2. Like
Yeah, I agree.
Like it's just one of those mons that, like, you have to prep for like a little bit, so you can't put it at 1. Like 1 point's a lot of mons you don't prep for if you see your opponent have usually. Like,
right.
And like if
even with the Kadabra, like they bring it, you're like, okay, it's probably Sash. Like maybe I just have to avoid. Like you don't need to prep for it. It's just there, and you're like, oh, okay. Like just changes your playing. It doesn't really change your prep at all. Tangela probably should stay at 2. It's a solid 2 point.
Yeah, I think it stays there. Could maybe go up to 3.
Could, but
yeah,
I
think we should put up to it does always get drafted.
I don't know if it got drafted last season.
It did. I know because I got sniped.
Oh, okay.
Tangrowth. I think 9's fine.
Another mon that used to be like the pinnacle of B tier. Now it's like going to the depths. Ooh, okay, so we got some good mons. Bulu is absolutely horrible now without it did get CC, but everything else is like
is fake news.
Fake news got shot.
So Tapu Bulu definitely down to 12.
Yeah. It's still a cool like recovery, like still strong, but yeah, it's not a mon that I would.
Tapu Fini probably stays at 13.
Very solid. I think Lele and Coco both can move down.
Definitely down to 14. Lele
I think
is
Lele
closer. Because Lele didn't change at all. So I think Lele stays at 15. Lele didn't change because we already weren't allowing Expanding Force last season.
Yeah.
So it didn't actually, and it wasn't using any moves that it wasn't using Play Rough on an average week. Like, and it didn't actually get Play Rough.
It's like a mod.
I think Lele stays at 15.
Yeah,
and we're okay with that. Like, I don't think Lele changed. It always gets drafted, and it didn't actually change. Coco lost a lot, and Bulu lost a lot. So those moved down. Finny didn't change also. Did Finny not get Draining Kiss? Did Finny get Draining Kiss still?
Yeah, it got it.
Good. That was something it got this gen. That's actually pretty good for it. So, because it's like attack plus recovery, which it didn't really have. So,
yeah.
Tauros.
It's kind of like
it's actually a really good 3-pointer.
I wouldn't move it up. It's a solid 3-pointer, but it's really difficult to find a way to bring it to a
Tentacruel is
game.
like a textbook trap mon.
But do we move it down to 6?
No, we don't.
Probably
no,
not.
No,
I think
we don't. But I'm just saying, somebody will draft it thinking, "Hey, I drafted a spike setter. I drafted a spinner. I drafted what looks to be a bulky water. It's pretty fast." And then you'll draft it and realize it does none of those things well.
Yeah, I think Terrakion is a mon that's like worse in OU than it is in
Terrakion 13 is fine. Throw 3.
I love how we just skip over the 1-pointers now.
Yeah.
Thunderous moves down hella. That thing is bad.
What did it not actually get?
It's just the lack of hidden power. Like this thing is absolute dog poop. It's
Thunderous
regular.
I think I'm kind of thinking we keep them where they are, or do we move them both down 1 tier?
I would move both down 1 tier. I think Thunderous Therian is like absolutely horrible.
I've always thought
Thunderous now its only niche is like
I've always thought Thunderous Therian was horrible.
It's like a mon that's like the only thing that it does well is like being a good electric absorber because you're like, oh shoot, I can't spam my electric attacks even though they don't have a ground type. That's really annoying.
Thwacky is a joke at 2. I don't know why it's actually there.
It gets drafted though.
Dude, I'm not putting it in 2 again. We have to. We have to have some self-respect here.
Dude, I know, but Thwacky is like grassy terrain. It's like little Rillaboom. I don't think it should move down. Like it's usable. It's a mon that you're like, okay, like this mon could come and be a little annoying. Like Grassy Glide plus 85 base attack with Eviolite and Swords Dance. Like could put in some work, you know?
No.
I think we have to keep it at 2. Like someone always drafts it.
No, I'm not keeping it at 3.
No, we have to.
Look at its dumb face. We're not keeping it at 2.
Dude, it gets drafted. I know that's your weak.
Fine.
If it's like undrafted, like okay, now we can. You have your arguments. Oh, you just copied Togedemaru. Togetic is a mon that's like. Again, a mon that we used to be like a C tier, like bad C tier.
That might be one of the biggest drops of all time.
It was so good.
It was
back
good
the
in
day.
Gen 6. So it was like really good, and now it's like unusable trash. Torkoal, I'm
Um,
thinking 6 is okay, maybe 5, somewhere around there, but it gets
oh
drafted,
no,
dude.
it's as a heavy duty boots, like good man. Tornadus, I think is really solid 9-pointer. Could be 10, but I think it should
I
stay at
think
9.
Tornadus Therian is 15 and Torn is 9.
Yeah, it's a really solid 9-pointer with Nasty Plot now, but I don't really feel
Torterra.
comfortable.
Yo, here's the fact. Like, Torterra is ranked higher in every single here's the fact for Nala. Let's talk about this. Torterra is ranked higher in every single tier list that I'm looking at right now.
Well, it has a 4 times weakness to ice. And it doesn't have the water resistance. It's not as bulky.
It's actually
no.
it is bulkier actually, so that's the joke there.
Oh, well, with less resistances, no, Torterra is significantly better than Meganium. This argument is
I've never
an
understood.
absolute
I've
false.
never understood it at all. I was like, the first time when Nala said it, I was like, wait, you can't be kidding
Are
me.
you serious?
Like, I was like, wait.
Like, what does Meganium get? It's like
He's like
grass
light screen and reflect, and I'm like, okay, if those were good, Torterra also gets them. By the way, if those were good, I would care. But
light
Torterra
screen and reflect.
also gets those, so it's like, yeah, but anyways, all right, Toxapex, 13. Kind of a bad 13-pointer, but probably 13.
It's horrible. It's so funny how like Toxapex is like so meta defining and Smogon, and then in draft it's like absolutely
everyone
horrible.
because when you see it, everyone brings coverage for it. When you see it,
true.
They bring all
it's
their
like
mons to beat it.
Exactly. Like Haze is not enough to warrant like, oh yeah, I can kind of just like shut this thing down. Like I can just set up and beat this thing.
Toxicroak should be go down. That thing's so bad.
Yeah, it's good with dry skin, but that's it. Toxtricity could move down. I think it's an absolute farce of a Pokemon.
I think so too. Why is it at 10? Honestly, couldn't tell you. Could go down to 8. Could genuinely go down to 8.
Let's not get too hasty. We'll keep it at 9.
I spelled it wrong. Also a hard mon to spell its name.
Yeah, like just stupid mon. Trevenant, it did get Poltergeist, and it's a
Trevenant, where was it? 4. It should go to 3, dude. That's not a good mon.
It gets Poltergeist though.
Who
it gets
cares?
Poltergeist.
It's not. No, I don't care.
No, it gets Poltergeist though.
Sorry, no.
Come on. I would draft Trevenant over like freaking Minior or like. Okay, if Gourgeist is 4, but then again, Gourgeist has a lot of diversity. But then again,
Gourgeist is really cool actually because it gets like all the different, like you can pick your bulks and speed so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it also has like really like with Poltergeist now, like it can actually be a super big threat.
We're so close. We're so close. I'm gonna copy this chunk of ones.
Type Null should go down. I'm sorry, buddy. That is not.
What is it at?
4. It should be 3.
It should be 3. It should be 3, but good 3-pointer.
I don't know about that.
I love Type Null, but anyways. Gets set up. Gets hella set up.
It's a good ghost check.
I don't know. I'm okay moving it down. Honestly, it's okay. Typhlosion probably stays at 3.
Yeah, I think Scarf Eruption is enough rationale to not move it down. And fire types are like becoming a little bit more popular these days with boots, even though Typhlosion
very
would probably
much.
run it. Tyranitar.
Probably 13.
I've heard arguments to move it up, but I don't really understand them. Tyranitar's always just kind of been a meh.
I always thought it was meh, and in a world where we punish the setters, like it's got maybe is the word that why they say move it up, but like it's just not that good.
Tyranitar Mega should stay where it is. It's a good Pokemon, but
I think it should move up.
Oh, 11. Up? I'm okay with that. Yeah. Tyrantrum, great at 6 points. I don't think it should move down.
Yeah, I think it's good at 6. Umbreon.
Actually, hold on. I feel like Tyrantrum got something. Let me.
Not anything that was better than Red Smash Rockhead or whatever it had.
Oh, it didn't get scale shot. That's very unfortunate for this thing.
Umbreon. Honestly, probably to 7. Really bad mon.
Yeah, I just think you just saw the lack of 7s, and you're like, we need more.
Yeah, honestly, it's one that could go in 7, so we're putting it in 7. Unfezant,
Unfezant and
go to
Ursaring.
1. Ursaring.
Whoa, 1, 1, whoa.
Ursaring probably to stays at 3. I like Ursaring. The problem is there's a lot of normal types I like, and I never can draft all of them at once. I'm gonna not draft Snorlax anymore because I like these low tier normals so much.
I will put Unfezant in 1. It's horrible.
Urshifu Rapid and Urshifu Single.
Rapid down, single. We might have to have a talk because I think Rapid is horrible.
Rapid should go to 13. I agree.
Like that thing literally just is like.
I think Single stays at 15.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. Like, for example, let's see. The DPL tiers. It is not even at 18 points. It is at 17 points.
What's 18?
Garchomp, Mega Diancie. Don't understand that one, honestly. Mew.
It's really
Tornadus.
That's weird. Torn is not that good. It's good, but like it's not like.
17 is Aegislash, Steela, Gliscor, Latios, Gallade, Lopunny, Scissor, Coco, Lele, Urshifu, Single, Zeraora, and Zygarde 50. I don't 100% agree with a lot of these tiers, but I'm just saying, like, this is one example of, like, they don't even think it's close to ban worthy.
Yeah, I guess. Makes sense.
So I would say Urshifu Rapid, because it gets walled by so many bulky waters. Down to 13.
Oh, does it?
Urshifu Rapid?
Oh, Rapid? Oh, yeah. Rapid is, like, that honestly should move to 12, but, like, people don't understand that it's not good at all.
All right.
Imagine having 2 bear-type Pokemon that both start with URS. Like, be more creative. Come on. There's literally...
Vanillux is kind of a popular mon. I'm okay with it at 4.
Yeah. Venomoth. Oh, wait, no. Vaporeon. Sorry, missed that. I think just being a bulky water...
I think probably down to 8. It's, like, really bad at 9.
Is it? People always draft it, though.
No, they don't,
it's like...
dude. Nobody drafted it last season.
Oh, didn't? Okay.
No, because I was looking at picking it up in free agency, but it's really bad. I was like, I can't justify this, how bad this mon is.
It only works on certain teams. Venomoth is cool with boots, but no one really drafts it.
The problem is it's so passive.
Yeah.
Venomoth, I'd say Venomoth 5 is fine. Loss of Z moves kind of killed it.
Yeah, it like had some promise, and then it's like, oh wait, no, it's actually horrible.
Venusaur, regular Venusaur, probably 7 is fine.
Really, really good on Sun teams. Extremely good.
It's so polarized. It's one of those mons, like, I mean, all these weather dependent mons are like inside weather, it's so threatening, and out of weather, it's so bad.
Yeah. It's like we gotta kind of find a middle ground. Venusaur Mega did get Earth Power. We already knew this though.
I think I'm fine with it at 12. We're so close. We're so close. We're so close.
Let's bum it out. Victini, good 14-point mon. I think we can both agree there.
I'm trying to think if Victini goes to 13 or not.
No, it's like it's so powerful. It always gets drafted.
Victory Bell.
Probably could be. With Sun, it's good. With
I'd say Victory Bell probably move up to 4.
Okay. I mean, I would have just kept it at 3, but
okay, yeah. Nobody's drafting Victory Bell. Let's do it.
Right. Like no one's gonna draft it anyway. If it's drafted on Sun, good for you. Vikavolt always gets drafted. Solid. Webb's Pokemon.
Yeah, I like Vikavolt a lot. Really good Pokemon. Always good when your electric type is your ground immunity. You're like already in a good spot. Like
it's
like it's one of those things like if your steel or your electric type is immune to ground, your draft can never have a ground weakness. Like that's already decided.
Right. Bioplume, amazing 3-point mon, very solid.
Such a good mon.
I wouldn't move.
Such a good. I wouldn't move it up, but such a good 3-pointer.
Yeah. Virizion, I think can stay at 7. It's not great at all, but
I think if anything, it could move down to 6. Like it's not doing anything.
Fair enough. I
We
was
don't
just
have a
kind
lot-
of saw that lack of
We have a lack of 7s, but that's okay. I'm not gonna stress too much about it. There's still plenty.
Vivian. Do we move that down? No one ever
Yeah,
drafts
I think
Vivian.
there's no. It's tough because no, I
It
think
used to
we
be
don't.
so good.
I think we
now.
keep it at 2.
Yeah, like with Compound Eyes, like as a mon that's like you could just draft Vivian as a 1-point Pokemon and be like, oh yeah, like you still have to prep for it. Like I feel like you still have to prep.
Yeah,
for
remember
Vivian.
that's our category. We say if you have to prep for it, if you don't have to prep for it, it goes in 1. If you have to prep for it, it goes in 2.
Mhm.
Volcanion probably 12 is. Oh, sorry, was it 10? Yeah, that's what I mean. Probably.
It was really solid there, but I wouldn't move it up.
Yeah, it's a really good 10-pointer though.
Could move up to 11 personally, but
Does get drafted.
with boots now, it's extremely good. Volcarona,
Look-
13.
Yeah, I kind of want to move it up, dude. It's a little too good for 10, I think.
Mm-hmm. It definitely forces a lot more prep, but I think Volcarona is good.
It's so tough, man.
The thing with Volcanion is the reason why it's on the cusp is because it's like 70 speed, so it's like extremely slow, but like it has so much versatility, and like it can be
Physical or
special, it can be physical, it has like so much coverage, it has ground, it has fire, water coverage is already good. Combine that with like
ground poison. I guess.
and then things like Toxic Willow. It
Boots
has
defog is really big for it now. That's what's
Boots
made it.
defog.
What's made it really good. Let's leave that as another one that the panel will decide on. That'll be the third
Okay.
one here.
What else? Volibee. We'll just kind of get all these 1-pointers out of the way. You get the top one, I'll get the second.
Yeah.
Second row.
Oh, it's all on one screen. We're getting there. Weavile 14
beautiful.
feels pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Could go to
Weezing
13,
4 is
honestly, maybe, but we have a lot of 13s, not a lot of 4.
Axel.
Triple Axel, that's true.
Galarian Weezing I think is really solid, but I wouldn't move it up. It does always get drafted though. Maybe we move it up.
I think we move it up to 7. It does always get drafted. It actually is a pretty good Pokemon.
It forces a lot of prep because it
Yeah.
kind of warps the way your offensive Pokemon have to
beat
deal with
it,
that.
yeah. Whimsicott probably
I thought
also down to
Whimsicott-
7.
I think that said Wishcash for a second. Yeah, it's not that good. Wishy Washy, think 3 is fine for it.
I kind of want to say 2, dude.
2?
I had such a hard time bringing it last season, and I love Wishy Washy, but even I'm starting to dip off the Wishy Washy love train. Like,
Okay, we'll move it to
it's so hard to bring.
Wobbuffet can
Because
stay at 3.
the fact that it gets walled by bulky waters, it does get U-turn, but the fact that it's just so walled, like you're always like, ugh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird Pokemon.
Anyone who has a
and-
usable water type, like Wishy-Washy, just gives up all momentum.
Yeah, can't even run Hidden Powers anymore for even if like HP Electric. So
Zatu, 4 is fine.
yeah, Xurkitree could probably move down to 7 because it's extremely bad without Tail Glow now. Could even I think 7.
7's fine. We move it down for sure without Tail Glow. It's
Perfect.
so much worse. 7's filling up. There you go. Don't be worried. Yan Mega.
That's so funny because like Xurkitree was actually like people were like, oh yeah, it's like it was really bad without like Z moves and Hidden Powers, but then it was like, oh well, it still got Tail Glow, so it can like kind of still blow past all of its, what you'd think would be counters.
Yeah.
But
Yan
now
Mega,
without-
I'm gonna move down to 5. Nobody drafts it. Zangoose probably can go down to 3.
I think that's fair. Zapdos. I think this is a solid 14. I don't think. Ooh, okay. Galarian Zapdos, our last new mon, other than Zarude, that is kind of like new.
I think probably 13.
What
It's
do we
really
have?
good, dude. It's really good.
It's really not. I don't think it has.
Good speed, good bulk, good attack stat.
It's worse.
Its signature
Hawlucha,
move
though.
is amazing. Its signature move is
Yeah,
amazing.
I guess. But like, yeah, I guess it's like. I'm really torn between 12 and 13. Like, would I rather have some of these 12-point mons? Maybe.
I think it's like, for example, I think it's significantly better than Hawlucha out of terrain, which I think you obviously are going to agree with, but I think like that's like it's like more of like a blankety like offensive mon because it's like Hawlucha's a bit of a specialist. Galarian Zapdos.
Specialist.
Zapdos Galar is a little more of a blanket.
The catch-all, the neutral.
There's we gotta find the term. So there's the trap, the specialist, or should we? I mean, the term like I like the blanket term. There's also I like catch-all, but no, it's like a little bit more like I don't know. I think I'm okay. I like it at 13. I think it's a good spot for it. It's if I'm wrong, we'll move it down. But I think it's a new mon. People are gonna draft it, and I think it's actually Thunderous Kick is like really good. Plus Defiant, dude.
Fair enough. I think it's kind of where does DPL have it? Out of curiosity.
15 out of 18.
15 out of 18. Okay. Yeah, I think 13 is good for it. Let's see. What else we got left? I put Zarude at 8. Like, it's usually not drafted, but I don't really feel comfortable moving it down just because I think it's really cool. I honestly am debating 1. Yeah, like, remember, it used to have, like, it'd be like, oh, it's, like, slightly okay. Like, people would, like, draft it. It's like that.
Zeraora,
okay.
14 or 15? Probably 15. It gets drafted, dude.
Yeah, it's so fast and it has like such good coverage.
Zoroark is 7's fine. Zygarde 50. I think the question is 15 or 14 for Zygarde.
Oh, it's tough. It's kind of like it does warp a lot of your prep, obviously, and without hidden power, like this has been known, but I don't know. It's kind of been underwhelming, you know? Like I feel like it's like you always expected to put in so much work, but then it's like too weak to the point where it's like really breaking through stuff without like a choice band or like a boost up, which is not the hardest to get, but it's still not going to be like OHKOing everything after
the fact
one
that you
boost.
drafted the ground, you didn't get a rocker in your ground type, kind of is a deficit. You have to really set up with it to be like really good. And that goes for a lot of mons, to be fair. Zygarde 10, I think, should go down to 8 for sure.
Yeah, it's not great.
I think Zygarde at 14 is fine. It went in the second round last season. It wasn't like a slam dunk. So okay, so we got 3 Pokemon left to tier, and that's it. Tiers are done. Let's go, dude. We just flew. We just went ham. All right, I like these a lot. I think we did a really good job with these tiers, actually, overall.
Yeah, there was a pretty good consensus, and there wasn't like anything that was like, there's nothing glaring. Like I remember before, it'd be like, oh my god, there's like this Pokemon in C tier, like that's absurd.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is overall pretty good.
We'll see. We'll probably get like lambasted in the chat or something. They'll be like, why did you have this my favorite Pokemon in 8 points? It should be 13.
All right, guys. So everyone, Zygarde got Scale Shot. Interesting.
Did it? I don't know. Did it?
Yeah, apparently it did.
I don't think it did. I do not think it got Scale Shot. I'm pretty sure it didn't. Like I'm almost 100% sure it did not. Yeah, it did not.
It got it.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Wait, but where? Oh, it's in the non.
It's in Showdown.
Is that
Does
enough?
that help it?
But like, so here's the thing. It wasn't like what's so good about Dragon Dance Zygarde. I guess it's good in coil sets because it's like
it's what's good is it's a go-to dragon move now that it didn't really have. Physical dragon moves like this thing didn't have.
True. Okay, I you know what that might warrant moving up.
Yeah, I agree. It's a physical dragon move that it just did not have.
Because it had to run Outrage before.
It had to run Outrage before, and now it has a because I think every mon that ran Dragon Claw that got Scale Shot will now just opt to run Scale Shot basically. Unless you're like a really defensive Pokemon, or like I think like for example Druddigon, if it got Scale Shot wouldn't run it, but I think everyone else like that would run Dragon Claw would just rather run Scale Shot. Because on average, Scale Shot has, I did the math and it's like on average almost the exact same base power. But then the +1 speed is so good on all these offensive mons. All right, those are tiers. Now we just got to figure out these last 3, which we'll figure out with the panel. And then, guys, stay tuned for some big, exciting news in the chat coming later today. Until next time, we will see you guys later. The boys are out.